There he is.
And we're live. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Watch Talk with the Punters. Blue Shirt, my partner in crime as the Iron Man of YouTube, Thomas Burnett.
Hi, everyone.
And today we have as guests the Rancher, Clive the Watch Wrangler,
Howdy.
and Mark Goldberg, host of Mark Vlogs Watches, a.k.a. the Dog Trainer.
Blue Shirt Buddha!
Welcome, gentlemen. And today, unfortunately, we are not going to have NS something. He had a family commitment. And hopefully we'll have Neo and Flip and Zippo on later. Wanted to welcome everybody in the chat. Rick on Watches, welcome. Good and longtime friend of the channel. Howdy from Texas. Big welcome to you, my friend. Good to see you. Slatsman, Hands, Knees, and Toes, Mr. C, $1. EPRFA, Stiefel, Chris, the Watch Lounge, our good friend Junior Johnson, Ron the Shrink, Orange Hand, Paul M. Welcome, everybody. Glad you could all make it to another Sunday afternoon. Here in America, it's Super Bowl Sunday. So for those of you overseas, it's kind of like an unofficial national holiday here. The Super Bowl is today. It's on at 6:30 p.m., I think, Eastern time. Mm-hmm. And everybody just, we're hunkering down here on the East Coast, not only because of COVID, but because there's a snowstorm going on. So it's a day to drink a lot of beer, eat a lot of chicken wings, and watch football. So, but before we get to that, we will be chatting watches. So, Thomas, as our NS something replacement, you want to start us off with the news?
Yeah, sure. So the first watch we had this week was the Piaget Polo Skeleton, and first introduced into Piaget's catalog in 1979. The Polo was redesigned into the Polo S in 2016, becoming the brand's entry into the luxury sports watch segment. That watch has now been given the open work treatment in the form of the Polo Skeleton, giving a more than just a distinct new look. The Polo Skeleton is more wearable due to the sleekness of the open work movement, resulting in a 3mm slimmer case. The case proportions rival those of the thinnest ever luxury sports watch, the Bulgari Octo Finissimo. And when the Polo S came out in 2016, it was different to the vintage original and vid more towards the styling of the Patek Nautilus, but with the more competitive pricing, which resulted with a little bit of success. The ultra-thin watch is Piaget's forte, and they make the Altiplano, which is the thinnest mechanical watch ever at 2 millimeters. And the Polo Skeleton is an extra-thin one, revealing as it is visible from the front and through the exhibition case back. It's making it appealing to those who like their skeletonized movements with a contemporary design. And the skeleton design does differ from the Polo S, which starts at $12,000, and the Polo Skeleton is coming in at a more affordable price than the basic model at $31,000.
Wow.
So it's quite a lot of money if you're into skeleton watches.
It's a little hard to tell time. It looks like right now it's about half past escapement.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, Mark. Yeah, I do get what you're saying. I'm not much a fan of skeleton watches.
Yeah, neither am I. And it is pretty difficult to tell what time it is.
That watch, wearing that watch would be like training wheels for the Daytona, because if you wear that watch for any length of time, you could definitely tell time with a Daytona.
True. Because definitely the Daytona is not the easiest watch to tell the time with.
I really want to give Thomas a compliment here, by the way. Thomas, for somebody who's not a native English speaker, you're doing very well.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm messing with you, buddy.
I mean, it's 42 millimeters, this one. And as I say, it's 6.5 thick. It's they say it's 30 meters water resistant, but do you want to be taking this into water? I mean, I don't think so.
Probably not.
It's not limited either, so it's you can buy as many as you want at $31,000. So Yeah, it's using a caliber 1200S, so that's a skeleton caliber. But yeah, if you're into skeleton watches, this may be for you. But a Nautilus style skeletonized watch, is that what you really want? What you really want? We could go to the Spice Girls again, like we did last week. But,
I have one. I only have one question. How's the loom?
Yeah, this is not going to be a loom monster. I can probably guarantee that. But yeah, interesting watch. I mean, it is shockingly thin.
Who buys this? Who buys this stuff?
I don't know.
Like Rick on watches says, rule number 1: he needs to be able to tell the time. So
right, I'm with you, Rick, for sure.
And I wonder how many Daytonas he has. Let's just be honest.
You know, Clyde, if you stare at a Daytona for 4 or 5 minutes, you're going to figure out the time.
Yeah, eventually you can tell the time on the Daytona. I think that's right.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so we'll stop that, and we'll get rid of that.
So the next one was the Bradley Taylor Paragon, and the young Canadian watchmaker Bradley Taylor's just made his debut with the watch called the Paragon. Is having trained as a watchmaker in Switzerland, as well as gaining Patek Philippe and Hublot watchmaking certification, Bradley Taylor's brand grew out of an earlier venture, which was a two-man partnership, similarly focused on a well-executed watch. Very much made in Canada watch. The Paragon was assembled and partially finished in Mr. Taylor's home workshop. He produces the hands himself, whilst the majority of the components are produced by specialists in Switzerland, including the Combelemann, which is the dial maker owned by Carrera and used by MB&F. Bradley Taylor has been careful to incorporate local details into the watch, using skills of Canadian graphic designer Ian Bridgenall, who designed the Arabic numerals. Even the caseback screws are Canadian in origin, and available in purple, light blue, black, or other custom colors on request. The dial uses a spiral Latourneux guilloche on the outside of the dial to frame the center.
Oh, look at that.
The same pattern is also applied to the sub-seconds register. The numerals are machined individually before being polished by hand and applied. And each hand takes about 12 hours to file, shape, and polish. The large but slim washer movement is a high-grade VMF 5401/32 with hand-applied finishing, and the finishing is actually comparable to that of the same caliber found in Parmigiani watches, Clive. The bridges have been refined, finished, and the movement features a 22-carat gold micro rotor with the same guilloche patterning found on the dial. This is a gorgeous-looking watch, I think.
You know, the Canadian details are just staggering. Each mainspring is actually produced from one Bear Clooney mustache hair.
I actually like it though. It really does look. It's so Canadian. If it could talk, it would say sorry.
It would say A. You know what? It's beautiful. That's a beautiful watch. What does that? What does it cost?
$22,000. It's coming in at. So
white gold, I assume.
It's steel. This is steel.
Oh my dear God. Yeah. Oh my God. Well.
Okay, that watch should be saying sorry.
Yeah, it really ought to. It really. I mean, I think for that price, white gold.
Well, he's only making 12 of these. It's 12 pieces of these.
Well, that's only, you know what? That's because he can only make 24 hands. You said he makes his own hands.
Yeah, he does make the own hands. Absolutely. 20 hours for each hand to file, shape, and polish.
I suppose there's people that buy this stuff, but it is beautiful. But
it's a beautiful looking watch, and you got to admire the detail that goes into that. I mean, the finishing work is really, really nice, and the colors are different.
And a nice posture movement. At least he didn't skip on the movement.
Right. Exactly. I just want to welcome some guys who've joined us. Turkey Vulture, what's going on, man? Good to see you, my friend.
Hi, Turkey.
Forbin Colossus, and who else was in here that I didn't say hello to? Dan T, good to see you, my friend.
Crappy Luxury.
Crappy, what's up? Abdul, or I guess we had on a couple weeks ago. Welcome, Abdul. Bobby Legs. If anybody wants to check out a good channel, Bobby Legs has an excellent channel.
Bobby does a great live stream every Friday. Great one.
Yep.
Is it called Leg Day? That would be the great. Bobby Legs. It should be called Leg Day.
Abdul R. Watches, who I said hello to before, he has an excellent channel as well. Logan Hall, good to see you, my friend. And lastly, another long-term friend of ours, Geezer. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you. All right, so we will stop.
Don't stop.
And we'll move on to the
next release, the H. Moser Swiss Alp watch, the final upgrade. H. Moser first unveiled the Swiss Alp watch in 2016, which was a sense of the brand's humor. Came out in the high-end mechanical Swiss watch resembling the Apple Watch. The oblong timepiece is now in its final edition with a 50-piece run, continuing the entertaining aesthetic of the predecessors, which some added humor in the form of the subsidiary second style that takes the form of a spinning loading indicator found in Apple products. This makes the watch easily the most amusing of the series. Although the Swiss Alps watch has the same form as the Apple Watch in it's notably larger and sitting quietly chunkily on the wrist, the legibility against the Vanta black dial, which is the blackest of black substances that absorbs almost all light, is excellent, and the dark grey hands have good contrast. Vanta black is made up of millions of carbon nanotubes, which are akin to tiny hairs that trap light, allowing it to be absorbed 99.965% of ambient light in certain conditions. The Vanta black surface is akin to fine fur, leaving it delicate enough that it cannot be handled like a conventional dial. Simply brushing a finger across the surface permanently damages it, apparently. As a result, the Swiss Alp watch has to be assembled with extreme care in the semi-clean room so as to ensure the dial is free of even the tiniest bit of dust. The only thing that gets in the way of the black finish is the crystal, which reflects light in certain angles. The constant seconds is simple yet effective, although it runs noticeably slower than an actual Apple loading indicator. It is still amusing. The dial features cutouts of the loading indicator on the dial with a spinning disc underneath it showing the pixelated pattern. And the watch houses one of Moser's top-end movements, the HMC 324. This has only been used in one other Moser that didn't sell particularly well, called the Henry.
The Henry double hairspring.
Yeah, the Henry double hairspring.
Yeah, this is the tonneau-shaped movement with a 4-day power reserve. It has the brand's interchangeable escapement module that can be swapped during servicing. And the HMC 324 also features a Straumann overcoil hairspring made by sister company Precision Engineering, and an escape wheel and a pallet lever and in hardened rose gold. Solid gold, sorry. One of the few watches, if not the only one, in the current lineup with a gold escapement. And though the watch is pricey, it is saved by its high spec in-house movement. And while the popularity and fashion looks of the Apple Watch may fade over time, the movement's appeal will always remain.
I mean, one thing you got to hand it to Moser and say about them is they have a sense of humor, and they don't mind, putting their money where their mouth is. They make fun of the industry, they make fun of themselves, and this is kind of cool. To mimic the look of an Apple Watch. It's a good looking and very interesting piece, I think.
They should have done this 4 years ago. And the reason I say that is because next year that watch will be completely outdated. It's going to look like a transistor radio as soon as the watch case changes shape, or that spinning thing turns into a beach ball instead of the icon that it is right now.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's got the spinning beach ball on the Apple products, haven't they?
Yeah,
you got to be a big Apple fan to spend $30,800 on this.
Damn, Skippy, you do.
Yeah,
but it's interesting though, right?
Yeah, only 50 pieces been made, so they obviously know that there's only 50 Apple fans
One-
out there that are willing to spend the money on it.
One for the Moser Museum, and then 49 suckers, and we're done.
Yeah, exactly, Mark.
But I love the fact that what Moser does is putting the power reserve indicator on the back of the watch. That I just love.
Hey Siri, how much is left in my watch? Tick 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 tick.
As a Moser owner, rancher, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm an Apple guy as well. Mine also has the movement in my Mayu is very similar to that one. It doesn't have the double hairspring, but in many other respects, well, I don't think that one does as well. Also, but the power reserve on the back. I think that's if you have more watches and you know what to do with and more disposable income. If you're a total smartass, I think that'd be a great watch.
Or a Moser collector.
Right.
Yeah, it's an interesting piece. I mean, you're right. This is a watch for someone with a large collection and an extensive collection.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy it as my first watch, but I wouldn't necessarily turn my nose up at it.
Right. Oh, James Con 11, underachieving watch collector. Good to see you guys. Welcome everybody again. All right, we will stop sharing that.
I'd like to thank Crappy for tuning in to watch me. That was very nice of him.
Okay.
Yeah, so the next watch that came out this week was this is a long mouthful, this one. Tag Heuer Carrera Porsche Chronograph Special Edition 44mm caliber Heuer 02 automatic.
Sorry,
Take a deep breath there.
I wasn't listening. Could you repeat that?
Say it 10 times fast. You know, these automotive collabs never go well, do they?
No.
They just never go well.
Watch brands and car manufacturers have often collaborated, but those have not always lasted long. And Tag Heuer now partnering with a Porsche, whose 911 is the longest-lived sports car in history. The partnership has been inaugurated with the Carrera Porsche Chronograph Special Edition Caliber Heuer 02, a watch that shares the same name inspired by Porsche's Carrera Panamericana of the 1950s. This watch appears to be a gentle facelift of the Carrera Sport Chronograph introduced last year, and the case and movement remain the same, but the design features a few subtle elements drawn from Porsche's racing pedigree. The dial is modelled on a speedometer, and the large Arabic numerals marking the 5-minute segments are modelled on the typography used in the instrument's Porsche dashboards. The granular finish on the dial was conceived to be reminiscent of asphalt, and the only reference to the car maker is an engraving in red on the ceramic bezel at 1 o'clock, which is quite subtly done. And the movement is the Heuer 01, which is an in-house chronograph caliber featuring a column wheel and vertical clutch, and it has an 80-hour power reserve, and the rotor that can be seen through the exhibition caseback has been shaped like a steering wheel in the current generation of Porsche cars. So, yeah, I mean,
interesting.
This one, I mean, Neo, who brought this to our attention, said that it looked like an Air King and a tag that had been morphed together, didn't he? He said the dial of the Air King,
right,
with the dial looked like the numbers of an Air King.
When you look at those blue shirts, scroll down one to that picture you were just on. That one, when you look at it right there, to me, it looks a little bit like a Casio edifice.
Really?
Yeah, which I know is not what they were going for.
No, definitely not. But you know, interesting watch.
Looks plasticky.
Yeah, I mean, if you're driving around in a Porsche, you're gonna run out and get this watch. Probably not.
No.
But it does have lume, which is kind of cool.
And Abdul says everyone's making a with ceramic bezels at the moment. What if Rolex are going to change theirs?
Good point, Abdul.
Well, they have a platinum bezel on the Yachtmaster. Maybe they will expand the use of platinum a little bit. That wouldn't be a bad thing.
Definitely, not my cup of tea, because I don't want, another brand on the dial or the bezel of my watch, but
Could this be could this be the Tactona, do you think?
I don't know. Definitely an interesting watch, though. And at least it has an in-house movement.
Yeah, it has got that Air King look, though, to it, I think.
It does.
Hasn't it?
It does.
You know why? Because it's got the speedometer on there. And that's one of the reasons I'm always been afraid to buy an Air King. Because I'm always afraid I'm going to think it. Because I'm afraid it's going to be like 45 o'clock. Like, I mean, I'm just a little worried about what time is it.
I mean, I like this. It's got some interesting styling cues. But you know, like I said, it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I mean, at TAG, I think they realize what their segment of the market is, and
they're not Porsche owners. I'll tell you that. That's the funny thing.
Yeah. That's, you know, I can't see Tanzil running out and buying this and wearing it when he drives his Porsche.
I'll tell you what, it'd take this watch a lot longer to get to 60 than it'll take a Porsche.
It's interesting what Orange Hand said, that this Porsche one is actually cheaper than the normal Carreras.
Right. Yeah, that is interesting. What were you saying, Claude?
Never mind.
Okay, so we shall move on
to the final release of the week, which is $23,100, is the Hublot Big Bang Integral Ceramic. And Hublot revamped their Big Bang range last year in time for the watch's 15th anniversary and gave it a new bracelet that integrated into a redesigned case. Now Hublot has upgraded the original with the Big Bang Integral Ceramic, an all-ceramic chronograph offered in white, blue, and grey. Not many other brands are offering ceramic chronographs with integral bracelets at this price range, apart from brands like AP, who will considerably charge you more. The HUB 1280 Unico movement is a flyback chronograph, meaning it can be reset in operation, flying back to zero and immediately restarting. Developed in-house, this is a modular movement made up of the Unico automatic base movement with a chronograph module on top. And this construction isn't considered to be the most sophisticated, but an upside is that you can see the mechanism under the dial with the column wheel visible at 6 o'clock. So it's an interesting watch. I mean, it's one for ceramic fans out there, definitely, and one for Hublot fans if you're into Hublot. One for Hublot fans if you're into.
God help me, I like that watch, honestly, better than the Canadian steel watch, and they're priced very similarly. Like, I think that's super innovative. Right, yeah. No, I know the Canadian watch is like all hand built, and so.
Yeah, but I could see you really big into Hublot.
Blue shirt, he's your problem now, not mine. This is this is why I invited him on your stream, not mine. This is your problem.
No worries.
Anyway, I think it's really pretty cool considering.
It's kind of a cool watch. Yeah, I mean, is it 23 grand cool? I don't know about, but
it's very hard.
23 grand. Which one would you want to get? They're basically the same price. Do you want to get the Canadian one or do you want to get the Hublot?
Where's the cheaper? And also look at the Audemars Piguet ceramic. There's nothing cheaper in ceramic. This is actually a good price for ceramic, and the bracelet. That's nuts. I don't think I've seen that before.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That for ceramic, this isn't a bad price.
You're not going to scratch it.
You're right, exactly. And it's, I'm not always a big Hublot fan, but this is one that I can actually read the time, and in a material that eventually I would really like to add to my collection. The ceramic piece is really nice.
It's a notable watch. Okay, that's not going to be invisible on the wrist, but for an Hublot, it's a little understated.
Yeah, you're right. It's not as sparkly, is it? It's got a bit more subtle with the ceramic material.
Yeah,
I
because
kind of like.
you kind of like it, Mark.
I do. Of everything we've seen today, that'd be the one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a real huge Big Bang fan to begin with, but this is kind of interesting. I like.
Well,
that.
maybe we could convert you, Blue Shirt.
There you go. All right.
And
All right.
never mind.
So we're done with the news. Thank you so much, Thomas.
Yeah, on to our topic of the week, part 2.
Right.
Is, what watches would you buy for $30,000? No Rolex, no Omega. Let's quickly have your pick, Mark.
Well, no, you need to come to me last because the only thing I know is Rolex and Omega.
Okay, then we'll let you think about it while we go through the others.
Thank you.
He'd get 4 tutors. No, he'd get 3 tutors and a Casio.
Well, you could get a Hublot. That could be one of them.
I think that watch is almost too cheap. I don't know. I'd probably, to be honest with you, I would probably go Royal Oak.
Ooh, nice choice.
Interesting.
Royal Oak and 3D shocks.
Yeah, I'd have a little. I'd have a little bit of leftover money. It's true, I would, but
a Royal Oak and a toilet oak.
But it's what occurs to me, because I have a problem, and that is I tend to like or favor watches that people have heard of. So these independent watchmakers, although they're incredibly skilled, they don't appeal to me because the brand snobbery demands that people know what you're wearing.
Also, they're not gauche and
I'm shallow like that.
Right.
So, Thomas, who is up first?
First person we got up is ID Guy.
Ah, very good.
He cheated a little bit because he went vintage.
Cheater.
And,
I thought we go vintage.
I told him to go new, but he chose 3 vintage watches. So slap wrists for an ID Guy. But the first one he chose was a JLC Deep Sea chronograph, which was a really nice watch. I like the look of this one.
Yeah, I do too. Very nice.
Quite refined.
Perfect for those vintage submarine races.
It's
And
a nice one.
this 42 millimeter in steel, 65-hour power reserve. Interesting.
It's a handsome looking watch. I like it.
It is. Very cool.
You're getting that JLC quality, aren't you?
Exactly.
Patek Philippe quality at a Rolex prices.
Absolutely, Mark.
Okay, so then we're going to go to...
But that was his first choice. His second choice coming up. I had one of these on Chrono 24 listed, but it must have sold, so I've had to look up a different one on Watchbox.
a Breguet.
A Breguet Classique Retrograde. This is the 5207BA. Beautiful watch. I love it. I mean, I'm a big Breguet fan, and it just looks great with those retrograde hands and showing the power reserve and the seconds.
Very interesting watch. I'm normally not a big retrograde fan, but this I like a lot. So this was his second choice.
That was his second choice. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I had to step away. Was that Breguet?
That was a Breguet, yes. And his third choice coming up
was a Blanc Pan Le Mans Aqualung. 100 hours. The Aqualung Slim. It's not interesting diver, this one. I mean, I've not seen these divers before, but
yeah, me neither.
For a diver, this looks like an interesting one.
Guaranteed to kill you when you can't time your oxygen levels.
Yeah, without the bezel.
Right. This also, I'm sure, isn't. Let's see, how big is this? This is 38 mil, so this is no 50 fathoms.
You can't even time a pizza with that one.
No. You couldn't last two seconds with this Mark, because there's no fidget spinner.
Nothing whatsoever to do. I would play with the crown way too much.
It's a nice looking watch, though. I like it.
Gold rotor.
I really like his first choice, the deep sea chronograph.
Yeah, that's a cool looking, very cool looking JLC.
So he blew most of his money on those three watches, the JLC, the Breguet Classique, and the Blancpain, and had to put the rest of his money to a G-Shock. So that was ID Guy's selection of 4.
Very nice.
So we move on to our friend.
Okay, just give me a second.
Long-time follower of the channel, who's Junior Johnson.
Awesome.
He's coming up next.
Dirty.
Just give me 1 second while I load these up.
Yeah, sure.
I was going to say BR549, but wait, that's Junior Samples. Never mind.
You can hear Mark doing that fidget spinner.
Can you? Really? That's so funny. Who knew? I didn't know you could hear that all the way down.
All right, so we're going to move on to a Blancpain.
Yeah, this is Junior's first choice, the Blancpain Hodinkee Mil-Spec at $14,400. Beautiful watch. We talked about this before, haven't we, Carl?
We did, yes, we did.
Yeah, we love this one.
Wouldn't you just like stare at that dot waiting for it to change, going crap?
This watch is so nice. It makes you forget that it's a Hodinkee.
But that spot, what that spot is basically telling you is if it's time to throw your watch out or not, right?
Time for it to get serviced.
Exactly. It's like your toothbrush. It turns purple. You're supposed to throw it out.
Right. But just, in a very wearable, I wouldn't put this on a NATO strap. I would get a sailcloth strap for it. But, at 40 millimeter, it's a fantastic size for everybody. And a really good looking watch.
Yeah, just like to say a big hello to Ben from Under Watches. He's saying that he likes the moisture indicator. The moisture detector on it. It looks really good.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Did it change color? Did it change color? Did it change color? Did it change color?
All right. We'll get rid of that. Junior Johnson's second choice is...
Yeah, second choice. We had
the Glasuta CQ.
That's right. Glasuta CQ comes in at $8,160.
The comment by Ron the Shrink. He says, "I wish my wife came with a moisture indicator."
Good one, Ron. Good one.
Ron, the way you're going, Ron, it would never go off.
Well fisted.
Never do for service. Oh my God.
A beautiful watch.
I didn't like this watch too much, do you, Clive? You're not a fan of the CQ, but
not my favorite though.
You like other Glasutas, but not the CQ.
Yeah, if I was going to spend money on Glasuta, it would not be that one.
I like that one. See, I like that one a lot.
Gauche, tasteless. Yeah, exactly.
I told you I'm shallow. I really like it. It screams, "Look at me!" and the loom is going to be beautiful.
And best of all, Mark, what does it have?
A fidget spinner.
Exactly.
Well, it goes without saying. That's why I like it. And it's blue, and it has Arabics, and it's got big loomy hands. What's not?
And it has that too. Yes.
What's not to like?
Very nice. Very nice watch. These are a little pricey, but
they are.
But nice that they give you a choice of 43 or the 39.5 mil. So definitely a nice watch.
So Junior did choose a Breguet Type 20 Aeronaval, which then decided that he was going to change his mind and put this next watch in.
And this is a rancher favorite. The big eye.
Yeah, we got the Longines Navigation Big Eye. Got the this one's £1,798 from Joma Shop instead.
Look deep
wanna
into my
kinda-
winking big.
Go ahead.
No, all you.
For those of you who want a bargain, a bargain and a budget value-packed column wheel chronograph, this watch can't be beat. $1,700.
I think it should be called the Clockwork Orange because it looks like, the big eye. It looks like it's wearing eyeliner on one side and none on the other, just like the.
And he did have a
derby hat and cowboy boots. Or
right.
No, combat boots.
Right.
Sorry, Thomas. There's this movie called A Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, I know.
He knows. A very interesting watch, and like I said, a real bargain. Okay, we will move on
And
from that.
the Speak Marin, have you got that next?
Yep, on the way.
Yeah, so Junior, as I say, went into the Type 20, but he went for the big eye to save his budget for this Speak Marin, which was the next
Oh
one.
no, this is I have.
The Speak Marin is the next one, the Speak Marin Serpent Calendar.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I must have skipped one. Okay. My bad. Give me 1 second. There it is. Okay. Interesting.
This one's was $10,700 and is now $5,500, which is a great bargain. A saving of 48%. So this is the Speak Marin Serpent Calendar Automatic, an interesting one with a moving date wheel, pointer date, and a nice little dress watch.
Yeah. Very interesting.
From English brand Speak Marin.
And 38 millimeter. Okay, so a nice size. Definitely interesting.
Looks a bit like Cartier meets Armatron.
It does kind of remind you of a Cartier. I agree.
Yes.
I thought the hands look a bit Blancpain Villeray-ish. That squiggly hand. This Deacon doesn't like it. He says it's ugly.
Okay. Well, different strokes for different folks.
So the next one was a JCB's selection. We've gone to the Chronomaster.
Excellent.
We've gone to the Zenith.
Right.
Now he had a lot of choices. Did JCB? He chose a lot of things. He had sent me so many choices, and he even sent me a. He had a pre Chronomaster Sports selection. He had which was the Defy Classic Carbon and Navitimer, Grand Seiko and the Willard, and then he said he's going to buy Scotch for the Punters with the rest of the money. And
that's mighty generous of him.
He also sent me an update this morning, which I didn't have time to put in. So we're going with his old post Chronomaster Sport selection. So he said he'd choose the Chronomaster Sport, which was £8,300, which is a beautiful watch. And
I love this watch. I really.
Do you know
love
what
it.
I can tell by looking at that dial?
The time?
Yeah, that the time is 10:08. Thank you.
Look at that. That's beautiful.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? And we know he's a big Zenith fanboy. We know
Yes, he is.
He's a big follower of the Zenith brand, and we can't blame him because this watch is just gorgeous.
Yeah, it really is.
Really is a
We can't
nice
blame
watch.
him, but we can always shame him.
You know what that giant sucking sound is? 25% of your value sucking right out of the bag as you walk over the threshold of the AD.
This is true. This is true. But there are
I want that watch in about a year, 18 months.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like it, and I don't think it's a straight Rolex ripoff. The pushers are not screwed down,
no.
It has that unique tricolor look of Zenith.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's definitively Zenith.
And
It
you
is.
can tell the time.
Yeah, I don't hate it at all.
No. It's a beautiful watch, and it's definitely on my want list at some point.
Okay.
Whoa.
Zenith Chronomaster Sport or the new Speedmaster.
I'm just sticking with the Zenith.
It depends whether you're saying Ed White or not.
No, we're just talking about the new Moonwatch, Speedy Moonwatch.
Zenith Chronomaster Sport, definitely.
Okay. Marcus Maximus.
You talking to me?
Indeed.
Yeah, I'll have a Daytona, thank you. Actually, but in that matchup, yes, I would also take the Zenith.
There you go.
I would. I like that little star logo.
So,
Now,
Thomas,
if you wore the Zenith, you'd have to go walk around with a Sing Eye Boy to tell you what time it is.
Blue shirt, do something about him.
Thomas, he's doubling down on Zenith because we have another one for his next choice.
We can tell he's a Zenith fanboy. He's got the Zenith Defy Skeleton.
Ooh.
His next pick, which was 6,500. Sorry.
Right.
This is JCB all over. He's getting into skeletonized watches at the moment.
He is.
He's loving that look, and this Defy, he said he really loved. He's actually tried this on recently.
Mm-hmm.
The Defy Skeleton. He said he loved it.
I like I like the Defy on the bracelet, but I like it with the blue dial.
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree with you. Welcome, Mason One. Good to see you, my friend. William Rizzo, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Brent
But on the other hand,
Melbury, welcome. Vintage Rolex Watches, welcome. Roscoe, welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
But on the other hand, with this one, at least you can tell what time it is, unlike the Daytona.
Right. So then we're going to move on from the Zenith
to a more dressy type watch, a dress style watch.
Gentlemen, before you do that, I would like to thank you for having me on the show. I must get to the puppies.
All right.
Thank
you for joining us.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, boys.
All right. Take care. And we're moving on to a JLC, correct, Thomas?
Yeah, the JLC Master Ultra Thin Moon.
You think you meant actual puppies?
A really nice watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, having owned a Master Ultra Thin Small Seconds, I can attest this watch is fantastic.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yes, 8,600. This one. It's a beautiful watch, as you can see, with the moon phase and the calendar on the front, the pointed date calendar. It's a gorgeous looking watch. A lovely dress option, JCB. Great choice.
Yeah, excellent choice, JCB.
He did want to go for another choice. He emailed me this morning. He messaged me this morning, but as I say, sorry I didn't have time to put that in. But we've got a lot from that brand that he chose coming up.
Sorry, just
and he went with a budget fourth choice. A budget fourth choice, which was a great choice, I thought, with the money he had left over.
Yes, I agree. The micro brand Zelos.
The Zelos black tip in the teal dial. He said he'd go for, which came in at $499.
Now, are fans of the brand called Zealots?
You can see it's sold out just from the second from right. It's just sold out. It was the second from right one. It's sold out now, but it's you can click on it and it'll come up if you want.
Yeah, it's just one of those micro brands that came out of nowhere to where seemingly everyone's talking about it.
Correct.
I actually think it's getting, just among serious watch collectors, it's even getting a little street cred.
Absolutely, Clyde. Yeah, there's a lot of Zeloses being featured at the moment. I mean, designer T did the crimson coloured one, the Zelos black tip, and there's a lot of people featuring them.
Yes, and a lot of
William Rizzo's got one of these, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And Celine Driver has like 20 some odd of them. He's gone whole hog on the brand and really loves them. And in fact, they're almost at the point where I don't think you can really consider them a micro brand anymore. They're I think they're
macro brand, aren't they?
A macro brand, yeah. Definitely a very interesting watch.
Yeah, there's waiting lists for them. Well, they
sell out immediately.
They sell out on the first day, don't they? Yeah, sell out on the first day. A lot of the models.
Very interesting. Okay.
So we move on to the Arthur family next, and
all right, you're gonna have to just bear with me, Thomas.
Yeah, sure.
Thomas, if your avatar's mouth opens and closes, I will know I bought good LSD.
Yeah, for sure. That's 1, 2, 3.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas watch 80s.
4. Okay, so I can't say that I'm surprised at their choices.
No, big fans of a particular brand that we know that they're fans of, and they feature a lot in their selections. And we'll see that brand coming up, which is Girard-Perregaux.
Yes, and the Laureato the chronograph version.
Yeah, this is
a really nice watch. Yeah,
James Arthur's first pick. This one, the Girard-Perregaux Laureato chronograph, 42 millimeter. This comes in at $15,800. So that is almost half the budget. But he was saying that he gets 30% discount. So the family are saying they'll get 30% discount on the brand. So we're going to allow them a little pass on this brand.
All right. So, definitely a lovely watch.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
That
nicely finished dial. Movement. And you got a whole bunch of different flavors. Really nice. Even the 3-hander is a nice watch.
I like the 3-hander.
Yeah, so do I.
There's plenty more Laureatos coming up, so we'll see a lot of those.
Okay. Let me get rid of this. And now we're going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Roscoe's saying don't allow the discount. I know what he's saying, Roscoe. It was hard to allow discount and hard to allow that. But this one nearly broke the budget, as you can see. With $26,500. Wouldn't allow for the Laureato as well. This is the Girard-Perregaux Neo Bridges, and this is one heck of a watch. And as you can see, so this is James's second choice.
Yeah, that's quite a watch.
Rick has 3 of them.
Welcome, Toffee Apple. Toffee Apple 68. Welcome.
New the hobby, new the stream. Hello to everyone. Hello to you, Toffee Apple.
Yes, Toffee Apple. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so we'll stop on that one.
So that was enough for spending a lot of money, and he went down to a budget brand, which is familiar with a lot of us not being able to pick Rolex or Omega. A lot of us have opted for this brand, which is Tudor.
Tudor, and in particular, one of your favorites there, Mr. Burnett.
Yeah, definitely the P01.
When I came on, I was calling it the POS, but you know, it has grabbed my.
I love this watch.
Yeah, it's my respect.
This, and I'm the same with you, Clyde. I kind of scoffed at this when I first saw it, but if you see it in person and put it on your wrist, it grows on you. It's a good looking watch.
It's one you got to try on, definitely.
Yeah. Very interesting watch. And I know you fell even deeper in love with it once you tried it on, Thomas.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I was.
Now, Bill Sanders is in the peanut gallery giving out his choices.
Oh, okay. Welcome, Bill. Oh, you know what? That's what I forgot to do. My bad.
Vacheron Quadrille, lovely choice, Bill. Harbring 2, we had one of those last week. That's a great choice. The Harbring 2 Irwin. A Roger Dubuis Easy Diver. You've got one of those, haven't you, Bill? The Parmigiani Tonda. I don't know whether we'd get all that for $30,000, but it's some lovely choices.
I knew a girl named Honda. Surprisingly enough, she is Caucasian.
So I posted the link. I forgot to do that earlier. James Arthur, welcome. Good to see you. Hope you're feeling well. Please join us if you like. I completely forgot to add the link in the chat, everybody. So my apologies. If you want to join in on the fun, please feel free to do so.
So James's last pick as well. Yeah, it's
okay. So
his last choice after the P01. That was from Joma Shop. They're going for $3,195 now at Joma Shop, which is a great deal, down from $4,000. But the last one was the Visitor Dune Shore, which goes for $6,050. Sorry, $650. This one.
Wow!
On that lovely bracelet, he's got one of these as James, and he wears it regularly on this lovely bracelet. This
no, which one is that one again?
Visitor Dune Shore, the Dune Shore by Visitor. If you just go back to that's it. Yeah.
Lovely looking watch. Very different.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's a micro brand, so it's or a macro brand, but it's got a lovely bracelet with a lovely clasp on it.
And joining us is Dr. Bill Sanders. Welcome, Bill.
Thank you. How you guys doing?
We're good.
Very well.
Now, Bill, you have the additional. Now, yours all your selections also have to be key wound. We forgot to tell you that. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, George. Yeah. No, I don't know. I think it was a really interesting thing you guys did to come up with, what could you get for $30,000? And, I put some thought into it and came up with the list I had. Now, the Easy Diver, of course, I'd have to get pre-owned, and the same with the Tonda. But the other ones, I think the Irwin, and right now, you can really get some good buys on the Quadrille. They canceled it, by the way. It's no longer on the Vacheron Constantin list, but that watch is really, really a fantastic watch. There's so many. There's just too damn many watches that are really nice.
The Harbring's a gorgeous watch, isn't it, Bill? The Harbring 2.
The Harbring 2 is a wonder. The Felix, yeah, it's a fantastic watch. The thing I like about the Irwin is it's got jumping seconds. I just thought that was sort of cool.
Lovely.
Cool. So it can act like a quartz.
Bill, your avatar, is that a Kalpa?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, it's a Kalpa.
Oh, yeah. I have a Kalpa. Yeah, that's a Kalpa that's there. And then I have the Tonda hemispheres. But I was looking at one. Actually, the one I'd rather have is a toric. that was the original one, and they are just beautiful watches. But then they came out with a new one celebrating his 70th birthday, Amicio Parmigiani's, and it just, simple and gorgeous. That was what I had in mind. I thought, well, maybe I can find a Tonda like that. Because the thing is that I tend to gravitate toward watches that don't hold their value but have high quality, and that way you can, I think what we're all trying to do is a really good watch for the best price.
Absolutely. And I just want to welcome ID Guy, fresh off his 3.5-hour marathon live stream last night. Welcome, ID Guy. Always good to see you, my friend.
Welcome, my friend. How are you doing, ID Guy? Good to see you.
Okay, Thomas, who do we have next?
We have Megan Arthur next, James's daughter.
Okay, very good.
Her first choice, the Blue Dial Octo Finissimo, which is one of the nicer dials, I think, of the Bulgari range. I think Armin Reviews has got one of these.
He does indeed.
Yeah, the Blue Dial. It's a gorgeous watch.
Yeah, really, really nice. Super thin.
Beautiful dial. Really shimmers, doesn't it?
Yeah. And look at that.
Oh,
how thin it is.
6.5 millimeters, didn't we say? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. An excellent choice. Megan has excellent taste.
I got the Bulgari, what was it called? The Octo Roma. And it's a thicker one, but it is a great watch. They are discounted fantastically, but they have the same movement. It's called BVL 191, which is a thicker movement than in the Finissimo or whatever that's called. But that I think is another one of those watches for collectors who want to get a really good watch without having to spend a lot of money. And it's because they're seen as a fashion watch simply because of the company that makes them.
Right. All right. So we have this one coming up as her next choice. Correct, Thomas?
Girard-Perregaux Laureato Absolute Rock Chronograph, which is a bit mouthful. Comes in at $16,700. This one. It's an interesting one. Another Laureato, but with a chronograph this time. It's features a lot of blue around the outside of the case, and it's quite an interesting one.
I thought
very fashionable, appealing to the young kids out there. Very fashionable look.
As opposed to the old kids.
As opposed to people like myself and you, Clive. Yes.
Okay. Now, Bill, what do you think about Girard-Perregaux?
The Girard-Perregaux?
Yes. The brand in general.
Right.
I like it, and I'll tell you why. This is sort of a backdoor way of appreciation. Is that some of the best watch companies around have used their movements. The first high horology, the second high horology watch I got was the overseas, the first one that Vacheron Constantin made, and it has a modified Girard-Perregaux, and also in my Harry Winston. The Harry Winston has got both the Girard-Perregaux, and then it has the retrograde by Agonor. So, it's sort of like you choose a watch and it's movement by the company it keeps.
Sort of like JLC, but not as widely well known.
Yeah. But they're very. I think that's a good hunting ground for somebody who's looking for some really good deals in the pre-owned market, because
Agreed.
they don't hold their they hold their value, they don't hold their price. There's a difference.
And you're overseas. That was the first generation non-chronograph 3-hander, right?
What, the overseas?
Yes.
Yeah. No, that was OS1. You know, they none of them were chronographs until later. The who was it? I guess Royal Oak came out first, and then with a Gerald Girard, what was his name? Gerald Junta design, and then came the what was the one by Patek Philippe? The
Nautilus?
the Nautilus. That was Nautilus and Aquanaut, and then then the overseas came out. But all three of those were, I guess, sort of luxury divers, for lack of a better term. They're sort of sporty looking watches. The chronograph, I avoid chronographs. The problem with chronographs isn't the fact that they're chronographs, is that they have there's so much information that they're trying to put out on the dial, and you got all of these hands and all of these subdials. And as much as I like my Daniel Roth, my Daniel Roth chronograph, that thing's hard to read. And this is also why I like the Streamliner so much, and what Jean-Marc Wiederrecht did in totally rethinking what a chronograph should do, so you don't end up with, sort of doing the same things that the first El Primero did and some of these other early chronographs, with all of these subdials and all of what I call noise all over the dial. But that's, since I'm not a chronograph fan, everyone loves chronographs, and I think a lot of guys like the subdials, and it gives them, it's sort of like, I don't know, sort of does a dance for them. Everybody buzzing around, and then throw in a Rattrapant. Man, I tell you, there's nothing but, and then you never use it. That's even the best part.
Right. All right, so we're going to move on to Megan's next choice, Thomas.
Yeah, her next choice, which is a familiar one we've seen in the Arthur family already.
Yes,
James.
and one that we've seen already today.
Yep, which is the Tudor P01 again, which is a great watch we've talked about. I love it.
I like that watch. There, I said it.
You're not the only one, Bill. You're not the only one. I wasn't, as I was just saying before when we showed this, I was not a fan of this watch until I saw it in the flesh and tried it on, and I completely reversed my my opinion of this. It's cool.
Yeah, the thing about any watch that's different, you suddenly have a whole herd that doesn't like it, just because it doesn't look like what they're used to looking at. Right. And this one, I think, is, with the crown at 4 o'clock, that's actually not brand new. A lot of the divers have that on it too.
Sure.
But this one makes it look sassy, and I like that.
Yeah, and just the fact that this was a prototype that Tudor did for the U.S. Navy, and the way that the you can lock the bezel, pushing on the up at 12 o'clock on the case. It's an interesting watch, and I've grown to like it. Thomas was a fan from the get-go, but this took a while to grow on me, but I like it a lot.
I think people are put off by things like the crown at 4 o'clock, thinking it's a Seiko and, dissing it because it has that Seiko look for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But we'll move on to Megan's fourth choice, which is another micro or macro brand, you could call them again.
Yes, definitely. And a watch that I've looked at a bunch of times and considered.
The Yema Superman 63, which has the quarter Arabic look of the Oris Diver 65.
65, exactly.
which is a lovely looking watch. It really is a nice looking watch. I love those quarter orbit look.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at that. It's a great dial, isn't it?
It's
It's got the same handset as the Glashütte CQ that we looked at.
Mm-hmm.
With that pointer minute hand.
And I really love the traffic light tipped second hand. It's interesting.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Yeah.
An interesting little watch.
Yeah, it looks lovely. Really is nice. For the price it's going for, $1,199. I mean, it's a great buy. Really is a brilliant buy. Great little bargain.
And again, different with the way to lock down the bezel, where you're literally unscrewing the crown and then making your bezel adjustment and then locking everything back in. But when you're not totally unscrewing the crown, it's just partial, and then you can move it and then you lock the bezel in.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Just like to say a quick hello to JCB. He's just quickly popping in while he's
JCB, welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Thank you for dropping in.
I think he's just busy getting the kids up on the morning. So just a quick hello to you, JCB. Good to see you.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna stop. Let me get back into the next one. Sorry, Thomas. I'm just gonna load these up.
This is fine. So we've got Jacinta Arthur up next, which is Megan's sister, James's eldest daughter. And
okay.
Following the family tradition of Girard-Perregaux, and their admiration of the brand, we've got quite a few more Girard-Perregaux coming up. So we've got this one, the Laureato 42 Infinity, and because Jacinta's a big fan of rose gold, this has got a smattering of rose gold on the dial, I believe.
Yeah, not a lot, but just a little. It's very interesting.
So
let me say something about this watch without a criticism, okay? And because it comes up a lot, is that a lot of times, on the different Facebook pages, you'll see a watch, and the first comment will be, "Oh, it's a knockoff of a Rolex or this or that or something like that."
Right.
And when I look at this, my immediate reaction was, "Gee, that looks like the Bulgari Octo," and not because they stole that idea any more than Bulgari stole it from the Royal Oak. In both cases, the same guy was involved at some point. Gerald Genta worked for Bulgari for like a year or so. I forgot how long. He didn't do the design, but he influenced the design. And I think, when you see a watch like this, rather than blurting out, "Oh, that's a knockoff of a Royal Oak or this or that or something," it's a style. I mean, if you look at Art Deco or Art Nouveau, there's a certain style to it. That doesn't mean it's a ripoff, though. And I think a lot of collectors who really don't know that much about either design or art or anything else say that to make themselves sound smart, and they're not. All right, is that you could say it not as a knockoff, but certain similarities in design philosophies. There's a wonderful article on Michel Parmigiani and how we used Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio. And in fact, the golden ellipse by Patek Philippe isn't the golden on the watch, but rather it comes from the golden ratio. So anyway, so there are a lot of things like that, you could take every simple round watch and say, that guy ripped off Breguet.
I just want to welcome James Arthur. Welcome. I'm sorry I didn't see you down there because I'm multitasking here, but welcome.
How are you doing, James? Welcome. Good
Hello,
to see
guys. How are you today?
We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
How are you
Hi,
doing?
James.
I'm going okay. Thank you very much.
Good.
Hey,
Good.
James.
Good.
We're just going through your brand of choice,
Yeah,
Girard-Perregaux.
I just joined as you were doing me. So,
Yeah.
and how you going, Clive? How you recovered from the old virus?
Oh, yeah, fine. Every day it's just a little bit better.
Yeah, it's a hard process, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
And so we're going to be we're doing an advertisement for GP sponsored by
Yes.
Girard-Perregaux, are we?
Yes. It this brand seems to run through the veins of your family, James.
But it is
we
a
know
good
that.
value for money brand, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And classically styled, good-looking watches. All of them.
Well, they are high. They are really are a high horology brand. And you think about it, they're not mass produced. I mean, they're still only making about 5,000 watches a year. So that could change if people would turn to the brand and buy more of them. Then they're not mass producing watches like Rolex or Omega or other brands. So which surprises me that more people don't buy them based on the price. You're in the boutiques anyway. You're in Hourglass. Buying Rolexes and other things, you're going to have to go to the counter and try one on instead of a Royal Oak. And you go, well, hang on a sec, I can walk out the shop today with one, and
Right.
I can get a 30% discount for asking.
Mm-hmm.
And how I go with my Laureato.
Right. So you want to move on to Jacinta's next choice, Thomas?
Yeah, absolutely, Lucia. So we've got another Laureato coming up, which is the Girard-Perregaux Laureato Absolute Passion.
Ooh, I'm
four-
liking that one.
$14,100. This one comes in at.
Mm.
But again, we're letting Jacinta off because these watches would have totaled more than the budget. But we're letting her off with the family discount, aren't we, James?
Well, I don't know if it's a family discount. I think that anybody could get a discount, to be honest with you. But I think that any of you could get a discount off these. We might get a little bit more of a discount than you, but I think that pretty much if anybody walked in this is seeing in the AD, I think Clive.
I've got a daughter myself. I know how this is working. Hey, look! I said there was a budget of $30,000. Daddy,
that you've got totally 100% right, Clive. When they throw in the daddy.
I reckon Clive would probably got to negotiate a better discount than what I get with GP. Time he's finished pulling them through the tumble dryer.
Just a really, I like the look of this one, Thomas.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? With the red subdials.
That's not blue.
I know, which is a change for me, James. But it's not a bright red; it's subdued red, and you can't add blue everything. So this is a nice change of pace.
Very nice watch, actually.
I like the black case or the old black case. Nice.
Well, Thomas, you're really steering towards black cases late, aren't you?
I've been getting into them. I quite like them. Yeah, quite like the black look. Yeah, it's nice.
All right, so we shall
the next
leave
one,
that one.
The Girard-Perregaux Laureato Absolute WWTC, which is a world timer.
Wow,
this is a nice watch.
This is a $14,000 again. This one.
Is that US? Is it?
Yeah.
I think the girls have done their pricing in pounds.
Either that,
I'm just looking at the website, James.
Yeah.
Either that, or you're the producer, Michael of Girard-Perregaux.
Yeah, he's Jacob and Co.
Right.
I'd much rather have Girard-Perregaux to my name than Jacob and Co to my name. I think he's the cocaine dealer and everything, isn't he?
I think we can safely say, James, that you are the Girard-Perregaux #1 fanboy, president of the fan club.
100%. I'm happy to wear a cap and have it on my polo shirt. No problems at all.
Nothing.
But another good-looking watch and very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, world timer as well.
Anyway,
Very
Bill
interesting.
Sanders has confirmed that he is the movement man. He's confirmed it. He's said it for himself. So this is a good brand. Now, if Bill says it, it's true.
Exactly. So another very interesting watch and another excellent choice. And we've got one more for Jacinta.
One more for Jacinta, yeah. We're going to a micro brand, which is a French-based brand called French and Swiss, called Ralph Tech. This is a WRB model, which is a diver watch that they produce. It's comes in at 1,300 euros. It's a gorgeous watch. I really like this brand, and maybe James can tell us a bit more about them.
Well, predominantly Ralph Tech is produced for. They're a combination of hybrid movements and automatic movements designed for special operations groups. So 50 to 60% of their sales, you will see them in boutiques. You can buy them online and direct. But 50 to 60% of their sales direct to special operations groups, law enforcement, and also to military groups. So they basically make watches and they consult with those types of organizations, make watches for land, sea, and basically SEAL type teams. So this is what their watches are designed for. So they'll have thickest sapphire crystal. Their movements are made to withstand shock, pressure. They're generally 500 meters water tested, pressure tested. So some of these new models, this particular model here, is designed more to the retail market, to get them back into the retail market at a lower price, at $1,300. But generally, their models are around the $2,000 plus price range. But they're very much designed for military and law enforcement. So Ralph Tech is a brand which is bought by them. Plus, a lot of the people who graduate from the special operations groups are given one of these at graduation. Given a watch that is chosen by their groups, like the Belgians and look, just about every group you can think of, counter-terrorism groups and all the special operations groups across the world, pretty much wearing Ralph Tech watches. I know Luminox claim to have the SEAL teams. That could be true, may be true, may not be true. And obviously, this information is confidential. But I can assure you that Ralph Tech is supplying in the world of Europe. Ralph Tech are supplying most of the special operations groups, be it law enforcement, military, counter-terrorism, are being supplied by Ralph Tech.
Interesting stuff.
Very interesting.
And
wait a minute. Hold on just 1 second. Oh no. Go ahead. I thought we had Neo on here for a second, but I guess we didn't. Sorry. My bad. Continue, James.
Yeah,
Neo's in the chat though. Welcome.
Hello, Neo. Anyway, these things are rough and rugged. They're tested. They're designed to be knocked around, hit. They're also designed to be worn with with their uniforms and so forth. So they're not loom monsters. They're not going to win any loom wars. For that reason, they're meant to be stealth. But look, they're great watches, and I think they look great. I've got a whole bunch of them. I love them. And there's a whole fan club out there. If you look at Facebook, there's a Ralph Tech fan club, and it's got thousands and thousands of members that buy every single model, just like there are any other watch club. And they've got a great following. Plus, they obviously a lot of people retire, and all they've worn is Ralph Tech watches for their career, and they've been given them, and they collect them as well. So it's a French brand, and it's privately owned.
What kind of movement do they have? It says automatic, but I always get when there's not a lot of description in a movement, but at least they have the good sense not to say a Swiss movement. It's a mechanical one. Do they make their own? Is that
Yeah,
you know
so
what?
actually it's their own. So they're modified movements, but they're starting to move more towards they had their own modified movements, but now they're becoming harder and harder to get than what they used to have because the companies are obviously making it harder with movements. So they'll start moving towards more modified movements. That's up in the air at the moment, Bill, as to what they're going to use. Because a lot of the watches are actually like a quartz type movement.
What about Yerma? Because they make their own movements, and if Ralph Tech is French, is there
What's
a
going on, guys?
possibility that they might do something with them?
Yeah, that's possible as well. I mean, keeping it French is very important because obviously they supply all the French military, all the French special forces, counter-terrorism groups. So that's up for discussion at the moment.
Interesting.
They have a lot of stock of their. They have a lot of stock of their own of the movement they have, and obviously their volume isn't because they're expensive. Their volume isn't as great as you would think, but they're looking at a very profitable company, and they're looking at bringing out some new products to move into the retail sector, which they would then use. Obviously, different types of movements.
Just want to welcome Chris from the Watch Lounge. Welcome, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
What's
Thanks for
going on,
joining
guys?
Hey, Chris, how are you?
Good. How you doing, James?
Going well, thanks, mate.
Good. So that's the Ralph Tech, the Ralph Tech WRB. We'll move on to
You guys are talking about
James.
Ralph Tech, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah, we just moved on
That's
from
a brand
them.
I gotta look more into.
It's a good brand, Chris. It's actually not a brand which is sponsored or says it's used by people. It's actually really is used by special operators all around the world. So
Now, which brand is used by smooth operators all throughout the world?
smooth operators.
That's Sade.
What's in your wrist tonight, Clive?
Actually, the Girard-Perregaux.
There you
Oh,
go.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
obviously, we speak the same language then.
Okay.
Talking of Girard-Perregaux,
Who's next? Whose choices are next?
this is
Thomas.
Erin Arthur. This is James's wife and Jacinta's mum and Megan's
She has
mum.
gone Girard-Perregaux too, has she?
Laureato.
She's got a Laureato 42 millimeter.
You've trained your family well, James. They're
No,
consistent.
she's a Royal Oak fan, but she obviously couldn't fit it in her budget. And
No, it's into the budget.
my other daughter's a Rose Gold fan.
I'd like to congratulate Erin. She's the only one who's stuck within the budget.
Aaron,
really?
you earned brownie points.
You earn brownie points, Erin, for this. You stuck within the budget. This comes in at
can you speak to her about her credit card bill per month then?
This comes in at 12,000. This comes in at $12,200 budget. On $12,200. Sorry, this is a GP Laureato 42 millimeter. It's a lovely
See that
looking
watch
one.
there? You'll buy that watch for $8,000 to $9,000 if you
It doesn't-
ask for a discount.
It doesn't say that on the price, though, James.
I know, but I'm just saying to you all in general, when you're thinking about you paying over a Royal Oak to wear on your wrist, this
Right.
particular watch is their standard watch, and this is their top selling Laureato, and you want you can't get it on the list for $18,000 white dial Royal Oak. You got to pay $30,000 on the grey market when you can buy one of these for $8,000 to $9,000.
It's a good looking watch. No offense or buts. I think it stands on its own by itself. I just like this a lot, and especially if you can get it for that kind of price, I think it's a no brainer.
Yeah.
Well, just
definitely.
look at Luxury Bazaar, and he's Roman Schaff. He's got these all the time, in the 38 mil or through the 42 mil. He's got these all the time available, and for never open stock from his take he's bought from jewels that have gone bust or whatever. He's got these all the time for that sort of money, $8,000 to $9,000.
But that's second-hand stock, isn't it?
No, it's brand new stock.
Interesting.
So Erin's next watch, going on from the GP, we go to a very familiar watch we've seen in the Arthur family. But I must give Erin her dues on this one. She has got this watch, and she wears it a lot.
We've all got them now.
Oh, you've all got them now. So this is the Tudor P01 again.
Wow,
She was
so
the
you
first
all
to
have
get
them,
it.
James.
She loves this watch, does Erin? So from what I know, from what I gather, she loves this watch, and it's a
She
great.
was the first to get it.
Yeah,
Really?
She got hers November. No, as soon as it was released, basically, she got hers.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually not a bad price for that P01.
Yeah,
that's in pounds. But
on
Yeah.
Joma Shop, Chris, they're going for
So it's probably
3,000.
what, like 3,200,
3,000
3,300 US?
They're going
I
for
just
3,195 on Joma Shop instead of
Nice.
4,000.
I just bought ours for under two.
wow,
Yeah, very good.
an excellent watch.
It's just a sub killer, isn't it? It's a. You said no Omega, no Rolex. That's the next best thing.
Well, we have got a sub killer coming up from Erin. We have got one coming up. Not next
Okay.
watch, but the one after this. But the next watch is a great looking watch. I really tip my hat to Erin for this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lovely
Rose
looking
gold.
one. The Breitling Chronomat 42, steel and red gold. This came in at 9,750.
That's actually not bad looking. I'm not usually a
It's
fan
a
of gold, but that
lovely
two-tone actually looks
And
decent.
you'll get service south at the door.
It's lovely looking, this one, I think, isn't it?
It is.
Sorry,
It's
Chris,
very
what were you
nice.
saying?
Mm.
It's got that bullet bracelet as well,
Mhm.
which I'm a fan of.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's a nice watch.
Okay, let's get rid of that.
We might have to do feature on two-tone watches at some point.
Yes, I think we're going to have to.
They're coming back. They're coming back hard and fast, aren't they?
So, says the man who's wearing a bluesy. But I may be a little partial. So
biased there.
So the next one was the Breitling Super Ocean Automatic 44mm, which Erin was thinking was, and Megan was saying was quite a Submariner killer. If we're not choosing Rolex or Omega, this is quite a good Submariner option. 44mm. It's and very well priced as well at £3,250. It's a great looking watch. I really like it.
It
It's
is.
got that sort of panoramic vibe.
And you can get them on Joma Shop for far less than that if you look at it at Joma Shop.
It's got that sort of panoramic vibe with the numerals.
I was thinking more of the Glasuta original CQ.
Yeah, it's got that Glasuta look as well, but not so much as the CQ. I don't think it's.
When you see this watch under the loop, it's actually very, very well made. It's a beautiful watch. I mean, it's sort of.
Of course, I like the orange dial one.
Yeah, you've got so many variants.
I've
in
seen the
this
orange
as
dial
well.
in person here. They had met the breeds here. They're pretty
You
nice.
get the blue as well, the blue dial. I mean, this watch you can get for just over $2,000 realistically, and it really is. If you put it under the loop, its construction is just amazing. I mean, for a three-hander watch, it's in between a sub and a Sea Dweller 43, and it's got the bulk and the presence. You're really questioning what actually you're getting in a Rolex.
Are they using ETAs or Solitas now? It's hard to tell with Breitling because I don't trust them as far as I can see them. They're one of those companies that they'll have some phony name like it's a B1234, but in fact it's really a Solita or an ETA. The watch may be wonderfully well made, and I'm sure it is. But if a company isn't going to tell you what movement is in it. What else may they not be telling us? I just don't. IWC is pulling the same thing, and that really bothers me. But I know it doesn't bother everybody.
You're right in that, Bill. But like, I know I had the Super Ocean Heritage 2, which will definitely be a rebuy for me. I'll probably get the 42 mil, and it had the remade Tudor actually movement in it. It was the I can't remember what movement it was.
Oh yeah, the one they did with Tudor. Yeah. No, that one's fine. Yeah, but the thing of it is that it's like Gump's box of chocolate with a Breitling. You never know what you're going to get inside, and by having a nice solid back, you have no clue unless you want to take the back off. I find these basically you're paying. What about $4,000 for a $100 movement?
Mm-hmm.
That like I said, this drives me nuts. Not because even ETA movements. I've worked with some of them, and some of them are great movements. That's not the point. The point is that as watch consumers, we shouldn't put up with that crap. Period.
Yeah,
all right.
We're not going to never know. That's probably.
It's like when they put a picture of themselves from high school in their dating profile.
On that note, then, Bill, we'll get off the Breitlings and we'll move on to the choices of Wonder of Watches. So this is Ben from Wonder of Watches, the YouTube channel, and we're
gonna go to a Zenith, Thomas.
A Zenith Defy Classic 3-hander.
I like this watch a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really like this watch a lot.
Great.
So Ben has gone with the blue dial, which is 6,900 recommended retail price. It's his absolute favorite everyday luxury sports watch, he says. And
it's a great looking
watch. I prefer this to the Skeleton that JCB chose.
So do I.
This is a clean one. Mm-hmm. Real clean look.
And in titanium, it's just really. I'm not always a fan of titanium watches, but this one is just. I would have no issue, and of course, it's got a blue dial. So
now, would you
nice and clean.
This, like I don't know, I might be talking retarded right now, but would you consider this for those on more of a budget as an alternative to a VC Overseas 3-hander?
Ooh. It's not the Holy Trinity, is it? So
no,
right.
I'd say like looks and everything, like feel wise. Like, would you consider that like as an alternative, possibly aesthetics?
I would say that the Laureato that we were looking at earlier, the GP, it would be more of an alternative to a.
Yes, I think you're right.
But no, I disagree because
okay.
Even just recently, was it Watchbox? No, what's the other one? Watchfinder was Crown Caliber talking about alternatives to the Royal Oak, and they brought up the skeletonized version of this as a possibility because they said, well, it is a sports watch on an integrated bracelet.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
I think that Abraham Breguet had a similar shape to his case. So I don't know. No, I love this watch and Zenith as a whole, except for one thing, is that they have these high frequency, they beat them like a rented mule. That's the only thing about it. Do you know the movement in that? I have an elite movement in my Zenith, which is, I think, sort of their lower end. Do you know the movement and the speed on this? Because Defy Labs has been. Let's see, where's the movement?
Okay,
up, back a little.
Now, Bill. Okay, now I understand, and I also too share your appreciation for lower frequency movements. However, for the chronograph, and especially the new one that came out, it goes within 1/10 of a second. It's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, and for a chronograph, it's a lot more handier to know to go to 1/10 of a second than it is an 1/8 of a second or a 1/6 or a 1/4 of a second. So in that case, I think that's more function following form.
Right.
Like I said, I have a hard time not liking everything about Zenith because I do like Zenith a lot. But and it's all of their stuff, and I like some of the innovations that they've done in Defy Labs. There's a lot of stuff about them I like.
I
love this watch.
I've got a vintage Defy from the late 70s with a lower caliber. I mean, like lower beat caliber movement, but also even with the crown at 4 o'clock, which I think is terribly interesting. I almost think in that, By the way, who's doing the heavy breathing?
We're good. We'll move on.
We'll move on to Wonder of Watch's next choice, which was the JLC reference 1232510, which is a gold dress watch. He said he can't go wrong with this one.
Look at that.
Beautiful, isn't it?
That is stunning.
That's a classic.
15,800 recommended retail. This one, he said he loves this one. He said he can't go wrong with a gold dress watch. But it's just beautiful, isn't it? It's really nice.
It is. That really is pink gold. No,
I think it's pink gold. Is it rose gold or pink gold? I'm not sure.
Something in between.
Yeah.
It's a classic JLC look. It's just beautiful.
it is. Really nice.
Yeah.
Thin.
I think a watch like this is a great alternative to a Calatrava. Is that the price?
Yeah, I was thinking the same, Bill.
And I have a Calatrava, so but this one is. I really like this watch a lot, and of course I like Cesar Lacutra because I can't pronounce it.
Wonder Watch says it's simple, classic, and will always retain value. And, it's a great one. He loves it.
It is indeed.
It's one of those watches that says a great deal without screaming at anyone. I mean, you see somebody on the watch like that, and they say, "Wow, there's sort of good taste on the wrist."
Yeah, his next choice was a micro brand that he thought was a micro brand, which is the Finnish brand Sarpaneva.
Oh yeah,
for the Moomin. When this one sold out in the first day of it was produced, it was 75 pieces of produced. It sold for $5,000, I think it was $5,900 recommended retail, and it's got gorgeous. It's using a soap-rod movement, and it's got gorgeous superluminova painted on the dial, as you can see with the little picture on the dial. Looks gorgeous. Anybody who remembers the Moomin cartoon or books will know this one.
Doesn't that one use a Soprod A10 movement?
I think it may be an A10, Bill. Yeah, it uses a Soprod. I'm not sure which movement. It'll say at the bottom.
Okay, who's got the other screen open? We're getting some feedback.
Yeah, somebody needs to mute YouTube who has it on in the background.
It's not me. I got nothing on.
Really?
Is it Chris? Chris, have you got YouTube on?
Yeah, I just muted it. That's my bad.
Unbelievable.
All right, thank you.
I didn't think you could hear it over my earbuds because I got my phone on too. Because my phone
Bill,
works better than my computer.
Bill, you're right. It's the A10.
Yeah, that was the one that I got the A10 for my that project we're working on with the 2892. That movement is incredible. I love it, and JS used to use those, the Icelandic watch company and some other ones, and anyway, I had thought he used it. Good decision, I guess. Love that. Well, I mean, I don't know about the hippo on the watch, but otherwise, it's really cool. He's a very good watchmaker.
I can't see wearing this on my wrist. I mean,
no, me neither, James. But it's interesting.
It's very interesting. It's very
and it's
cool.
well executed.
Very cool. I not seen anything like it before. I think it's well done.
Yeah.
I think it's
Probably a collectible piece one day.
I think it's for someone who can relate to the Moomins, to be honest with you. If you can relate to the story or the cartoon or the what we used to watch when we were kids.
If it's something I could relate to, then yes, I'd probably snap it up and put it in my vault and go bit of nostalgia. I like the hands, but yeah, no, and it's not a lot of money, but that's not something I can.
You know what he did? It looked like because the Soprod A10 along with the 2892 is has the center seconds, and so they tend to be a little wider. Except the 2892 was made thinner. I don't know how they did it, but they always compare that to the 24. And what he did by adding those other things on the dial, I think he made it a little thinner. So to thin it out, he I don't know, maybe clipped the second hand pinion or something. But this is that I think is a cool watch.
All right, moving on to his last choice.
His last choice, it said, was his beta watch, which was a Sin 556A. And I think
can't go wrong with that.
He's got one of these watches, I believe, and he loves it. He really enjoys it. And this is $1,270. This one, so it's a great bargain buy.
Well, all I can say is let who is without Zen throw the first stone.
I personally really want to. I want to explore more of
You probably
Zen.
remember that one, right, Thomas?
Oh.
What'd you say, Chris?
No, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, yeah, I was just saying. You remember that non-numerals one that I had a while back? I really like that one.
Yeah, Zin makes some great watches, don't they? I mean,
Clean,
really nice watches.
Yeah, I've only got I think one in my collection, which is the Revolution one, collaboration, and I really like to explore more Sin watches, especially the UTC range.
Yeah, I mean, Bobby Legs has recently done a review of the UTC, and he's really loving it. He's really liking that UTC model, the GMT function.
Yeah, they really look cool, and I think I could wear one. So I think we keep overlooking that brand. We don't see a lot of reviews, or they're not often talked about. So, but I mean, I saw on ID Guys yesterday, the gentleman who asked for John Moen, who asked for help, and then he went and bought that Zin, and I think the Zin's got a lot to offer.
Absolutely.
I've never really played with them, so but every model I've seen I've really liked.
And Wonder Watches is saying it's got anti-reflective coating on both sides of the crystal, so that's a bonus.
On both sides, wow.
Yeah.
The thing I like about Zen is that they also use Solitas and ETAs, but they tell you which one they use. I mean, and that's not hard. It's like, there's no surprise in there. Some of these other ones, they could put a hamster on a running wheel for all we know. But the thing about Zen, and they put in good versions of the movements that they're using, and they tell you what they are. So I'm all for them. You have to sort of dig around to get the movement on these things, but I like, and look at the price. This was what, 1,000 something? And the other one was 4,000.
Okay. Guys, you'll have to excuse me.
And I might be wrong. Does Zen modify their movements too?
Mother.
I'm not too sure, Chris.
Yeah. You got a run, Rancher?
No, I'm going to have to step away for a second. Keep an eye on Bill. Make sure he doesn't wander off. He's already at that age.
We'll move on from the Zen. We'll move on from the Zen. Very nice watch it is.
We'll definitely keep an eye on.
We'll move on to Orange Hands choices.
This is interesting.
Our good friend.
How many orange hands have we got?
Let's see. We're going to go to
the Zenith Chronomaster Sport again. I don't know whether
orange hand.
I don't know whether he wanted the white dial or the black dial, but I've gone with the white dial, seeing as I picked the black dial for JCB.
Right.
So.
No, good call.
I
like
agree.
this watch.
Yeah.
I love this. I really do.
I
like
like
the black
white dial.
Yeah, so do I, Bill. I like the
Is that
black
is that
dial. I the white dial
Daytona?
better.
Yeah, so this is the lovely. We've talked about it before, and it's
Mhm.
it's just a great watch. It's
Yeah, I
lovely.
just
looks great. Looks great in the white dial as well as the black.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer, everyone? Do you prefer the white dial or the black dial?
I prefer the white dial, honestly.
yeah,
Yeah,
I would have to
yeah.
go with the white, but I wouldn't reject the black either.
Yeah.
I'd have both.
Yeah. I like the
Okay.
white dial because it's easier for me to see.
Yeah, I'm
black-
the same, Bill. I'm
that's the
losing my
only
vision.
reason. Yeah.
I agree with you, Bill.
I think
You
the
can't-
black dial's easier to see because, contrast.
You
There
can't
you
have both, James. You can't have both. You got to choose one.
Yeah, white, definitely white. But easier for me to see. I'm losing my eyesight.
You're not the only one, James. I'm in the same boat as you, and like I said, I would take either or, but if I had to choose, it would be the white.
How do you get your eyesight still, Thomas? We're the same age.
Yeah, no, I'm. Well,
Have you been eating your carrots out of your garden? Have you?
He's eating his
yeah,
he's eating his carrots.
I am. Yeah,
No, I think the white, as I've said, has got contrast, and I think I think the white looks absolutely stunning.
Hmm.
yeah, it's a lovely one.
So we're going to move on from that lovely Zenith to a JLC.
Yeah, a Reverso Grand Date for around about £10,000 retail, I think, but this is a second-hand one. So, yeah, gorgeous watch. This one, the Reverso Grand Date. It's a great choice, orange hand.
Yep.
I thought we were allowed to
What's
do
going
that.
on in the corners?
Power reserve indicator at between 11 and 12, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right, Bill.
It's not the dial's not as clean as a lot of reversos.
No, it's not. It's a little more cluttered, but
yeah, true, James.
but an interesting watch and a lovely reverso.
By the way, that bugle call, was that from Planet of the Apes?
I don't know. It sounded like the Vikings were attacking there for a minute.
I was thinking apes on horseback. Okay, I guess it's just be fine.
Does anybody here actually own a reverso?
I do not, and I want to add one to my collection one day.
I don't own one either.
I used to have a duo face, but after I got the after I got that Kalpa, it kind of displaced it.
I'd like to own a duo face.
Yeah, I like the tributes, to be honest with you, in the duo faces as well. The tribute to 1931 and the duo faces. They're
Yeah,
my
me
choices.
too. I've actually never played with one, to be honest.
Okay, but let me also give an owner's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
That's a manual wind watch, and
It
it
is.
is the biggest pain in the ass to wind.
Really?
Yeah, it looks like it's got a tiny crown, which would
Yep.
maybe fit my fingers.
Yeah, your fingers will numb.
Yeah,
Oh.
I know that feeling.
Well, but Clyde, that's the only exercise you get, so it's not a bad thing.
Excuse me, Bill.
Hang on a sec.
I got an
Hey, Bill, his tongue gets to work out.
My Kalpa has an 8-day power reserve. So
Hey, Bill, his tongue gets to work out. Don't worry, he talks.
I tell you, there's a watch that looks a lot like this, and it's not a matter of a copy or anything, but it was. It has that Jacquet 736 movement in it that has this shape, and it's by a company called Boys at Field. Does that sound right? It's a French name. It's BOIS at FILS, and but it looks a lot like this, even with the power reserve indicator and then the second subdial. This one I think is really very interesting, especially when they decided to take a picture. Is that we're going to set the date to 8, so that
Right.
Wait a minute, it's got 2 8s, and I like this. There's something about this watch I like because it's sort of a raspberry to conventionality, maybe.
My eyes can barely read it. I don't know how yours can, Bill.
Neo was saying when he's 75, he might be old enough to earn a reverso. So that's an interesting one, Neo.
Well, Neo's way cooler than we are, so I wouldn't mind owning this watch or any reverso, and I think it it's no longer a sports watch. Let's be honest. It's a dress watch.
I wonder how it will look on our big wrist guys, because we've all got reasonable sized wrists.
Well,
They're
this is
very
a
well
decent
made
watch.
too.
So we can move on to a brand that many people have chosen. We've had the P01, we've had the Black Bay 58, and now Orange Hand treats us to
the LHD Pelagos.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that watch.
Great choice, Orange Hand. Lovely. And it's
Awesome
got those,
choice, Orange Hand.
Those squared off indices, which Clive likes, don't you, Clive?
It's got a reverse crown, though, doesn't it?
That's what's
and a roulette wheel date.
Yeah, it's a left-hand drive, Bill.
Yeah.
Really nice watch. Again,
I like the blue version of this, but I really like the Pelagos, or however you pronounce it correctly.
Yeah, again, this is a watch that intimidates a lot of people because it's a big watch, but until you see it in person, especially with that blue dial, I'm with you on that one. And you try it on, it's an amazing watch, and it's very lightweight with the titanium.
I like it.
Unfortunately, the tuners don't do much for me. They look cookie cutter to me.
I think they're great watches. Lovely. I think they're really nice.
And if I'm not mistaken, Enna something has the blue dial, correct, Thomas?
He does. Yeah, that's correct. He's got the blue dial, hasn't he? Yeah. So we can move on from the Tudor to a choice which I think is a great choice, Orange Hand. This one, I think it's a lovely one for $1,800. Well, £800. £1,800. We've got the Longines Heritage Classic Sector Dial.
Sector Dial Longines.
Beautiful
Very
choice.
nice.
Really nice choice.
That's blue shirt. That's Clive. You guys love that watch.
Yep.
Sector dial is amazing on this watch. Really, when it comes to sector dials, this Longines has really truly recreated it.
They really executed it well, James.
Now you see, if it was, and thank God it wasn't Omega or Swatch, because they would have called it the Spectre dial, made it a limited edition.
Credit where credit's due. Longines have done this wonderfully well.
Yeah, they have. It's an awesome looking watch.
I think
really
Longines is putting out a lot of great stuff.
Yeah,
I think they have always put out. They've had hits and misses, but there's more hits and misses. They've always got more hits and misses coming out, and they always have put out great stuff.
They have the Petite. It's called the Heritage Petite Seconde, which looks a lot like this. I mean, but what they have an open back so you can see the movement. They put in a 6498-1, and so you have a 2.5 hertz movement, which I just absolutely love. It's hand wound as part of my exercise program, and it's the only thing about this is that they covered up the back, and I wish they hadn't done that. But I really like the dial on this one.
Yeah, dial on this is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, the
whole case.
The Longines Heritage range, they're doing some great watches in the Heritage range. They've got the military ones, they've got the this sector dial, the Heritage Classic. They've got so many different watches in that range.
Great
ones.
And they're priced reasonably okay as well for what they offer.
Yes, I agree.
They've got like a grand Heritage Classic. It's like a moon phase of five retrograde functions, and God, I look at the only thing is Swatch came up with a special movement, ETA movement. They modified just for that watch. So it's a tiny bit of a chunky monkey, but wise, I keep looking at that watch and thinking, if you're careful, you can find that one for like literally a couple $1,000s.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Five
Awesome.
retrograde move.
Very nice. Very
Yeah,
nice. So who do we have next, Thomas?
We have Roscoe.
Awesome.
Sheriff Roscoe Pico Train
And his first choice,
is a Tudor.
a watch that the rancher is well familiar with.
Yeah, Black Bay. We had plenty of Black Bays last week, but we
Okay.
didn't have a blue. We didn't have a blue dial one. And he says this is a steel sports. It's smart and casual, and he prefers the aluminium bezel aesthetics rather than the ceramic versions. And this one coming at £2,760. So it's lovely one.
Is this the 38 mil?
39.
Yeah, this watch does nothing for me. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's not
Fair
going to
enough, James.
float everybody's.
It's had
It's not going to float
loads-
everybody's
it's had
boat.
loads of hype, but I don't get it.
Fair enough. People might not get Girard-Perregaux.
Well, that's the point. That's why I'm letting you sell 5,000 watches a year.
Yeah, so that was his Roscoe's first choice. His second choice was back to Longines, which for another great looking one, the Heritage Military Marine Nationale.
I like
This
this.
is a casual everyday wearer and looks good with everything. This is
Oh, that's-
£1,570. This is lovely
That's a
looking.
great looking watch.
Really
Very
nice.
nice.
Plastic aesthetics.
I love
this
the
one.
blued hands.
Yes. Yes.
And on the cream dial background. They've done a great job with that. Clive would like that, wouldn't he?
Sorry, let me go back to. Oh yeah, absolutely.
That is well executed. Very well executed.
It is. Love the blued hands.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
what does it have, Clyde?
Contrast.
Exactly.
Contrast.
Yeah, and look at that is absolutely stunning. That is just simplistic and perfect.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a great
so then
choice.
we're going to move on.
Yeah, he's chosen a little budget one to
That's
fill up-
okay.
fill up the budget here for £100.
Well,
He's
he needs to leave room for his
gone-
parting
nice one.
shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does.
Well, if he's sticking with Longines, he's got plenty of cushion.
Well, he's got more cushion with
$185.
right.
He's gone with a G-Shock GWM56101ER as his
Yeah, that's a
beta.
good model.
So this is a G-Shock Square. So
Yeah, it's a favorite of most G-Shock owners.
So
that's
he
filled
really
his budget.
go ahead, Thomas. Sorry.
So just saying, it filled his budget for this next one, which is a beautiful one, a really nice one. The Langer 1815 up down, 39mm.
Yeah.
So it's a standout true luxury piece, he says.
What an amazing, amazing watch this is.
Yeah. He's really gone all out, hasn't he?
Yes, yes. But can you blame him?
£20,340, this one.
It's worth every cent.
Yeah. Beautiful white gold, 39mm, 8.7mm thick. Just an absolutely beautiful
White
watch.
gold.
Yeah. Blued hands. You got your small seconds at 4:00, and you got a power reserve at 8:00. It's just balanced.
We've got 70 hours on this.
Yeah, it's an absolutely stunning watch.
He says it's his grail, to be fair.
Yeah,
fair
it could be
enough,
my grail
Roscoe.
too.
It can be my grail too, Roscoe. I'd love one. Can't afford one, but I'd love one.
But
And
the
we
power
can't...
reserves getting bigger and bigger, aren't they, on watches?
Beautiful, yeah.
Yep.
And we can't end the stream without we've started the stream, so we can't end the stream without more second-hand options, which we wouldn't have gone for, and without having fries and mayo. So our last choices are from fries and mayo.
Fries
Sorry,
with mayo?
fries with mayo. Sorry.
Fries with mayo, right?
Yeah, and these
Heuer Ottavia GMT Chrono.
Yeah, a lot of vintage pieces from fries with mayo. He's gone for the Heuer Ottavia 2446C vintage first,
Nice.
which goes for about £10,000.
Jesus.
That's
That
nice.
is a
It's
beautiful.
on an aftermarket strap, though.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't have boxer papers either.
No.
Rancher, which you have a Heuer vintage chrono, don't you?
Yeah, except mine's a little bit older. But yeah, mine's commonly referred to as the Big Eyes. It's only a 2-register. But it's got one of the early Valjoux. But that is gorgeous.
It's a beautiful watch, no doubt.
It is.
Yeah, mine doesn't even have a bezel.
Yeah, really nice.
That's
Great
nice.
choice.
At the
Look at that. Look at
Wow, lovely movement.
That's wonderful.
at the time mine was made, they didn't really have turning bezels. It was actually the galley flight officers, like the first watch that had a turning bezel in the 40s.
Very nice. Very nice.
And
Right,
he
so
went with one real F-off watch, which we don't think he can afford, and which is a bit out of budget. I don't know how much it was to start off with new, but we've got some second-hand prices, which are around the 60,000.
Yeah, oh boy. Definitely out of the budget there, fries with mayo,
60,000.
but we'll let you go with the wrist slap.
Yeah, it's a Patek 6007 model. This one, I don't know. We obviously can't afford this one, but we're going through them anyway. They're our last picks. So this would be his Grail choice, I presume.
Mm-hmm. Nice watch. Not exactly my cup of tea, but it's a nice watch.
And not much in the Patek range is my cup of tea anyway. I prefer coffee.
He said for rough treatment, he would go with the next one.
Nope.
Five identical Pateks.
This is not loading.
That's
So
not loaded. So that was a System 51. That was a Swatch System 51, which was for £150.
sorry about that, fries with mayo.
Yeah, they're okay.
didn't
The
load.
Swatch.
So the next one he said would be, he picked 5, which was a bit of a cheat as well. He said he'd go for
What rules? Who needs rules?
He said he'd go for either this one or the last one. It was this one or the last one. This one was a Dordain Type 20. He didn't know which Type 20 to go for. He said it'd either be the Dordain, this one. Which is
Nice.
lovely, isn't it?
Hey, someone's got a seal.
Now that's Clyde
Seal
for you.
It's a beautiful Type 20, boy. Let me tell
Absolutely.
you.
I love my Type 20s.
Yeah,
I like the Zenith Type 20.
Mhm.
I do too.
With a big fat crown on it. Yeah, this is a cool one too. But I don't. I'm not a chronograph guy, so what do I know?
Yeah, no, James, I definitely at some point I need to add one, some kind of Type 20 into my collection.
Yeah,
I just love them.
Yeah, they're just a classic blue shirt. They're just an absolute classic. I mean, I've got a couple of different types in my collection, and I still wear them. I love them.
So I didn't know which Type 20 to go for, whether to go with the Dordain or whether to go with the last option, which was a Auricoste.
Which one?
It's Auricoste. Auricoste, I think it's pronounced. I don't know.
Interesting.
The Flymaster Type 20, the new version.
Okay, this is new to me. Not bad for the money.
Yeah, interesting.
It's too new looking.
I quite like the Dodane myself.
Yeah, I like the Dodane as well.
Dodane.
All right, very nice.
And that was
Very
our
nice.
round of- that was our round of disco.
Just get a real Type 20.
Yeah,
Yeah. Is that a pusher tool that came with it? There was in the box. I saw some kind of tool, and I was wondering, is that was it a spring bar tool, or was that one of those little pusher tools that you have instead of having you have a little indent. My Zenith Elite has one of those, and I thought maybe that was some kind of used in the setting of it. I don't know.
I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. And once again, and right on time, welcome Doc BBC, because we're just about to end.
Yep.
Okay.
Welcome, Doc.
Well,
Great
we have
to
to
see
have
you.
on to officially end it, don't we?
Yeah. Well, I think we're already at the 2-hour mark. So, anybody have any closing thoughts? Other than I just want to thank everybody in the chat for coming on. I want to thank we lost Chris the Watch Lounge earlier. I want to thank him for joining in on the conversation. I want to thank Dr. Bill Sanders. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Bill.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
It's great having you, Bill.
Thanks.
And I want to thank
great to see you as well, James.
Yes,
Glad to see that you safe and well and taking it easy.
Yeah, it's doing very well now. Thank you very much. I've been through a tumble dryer, but
are we kind of ignoring? Are we ignoring the bickering match in the live stream comments?
Yes, I'm doing my best to ignore that.
Yeah, and just everyone, this is a place for watch talk. It's not a place for bickering. You know, you can do that elsewhere on other channels. So
right, and we're not interested in other channels. We're not
interested in other channels. This is a watch talk with the punters. So,
right, we're just a bunch of friends talking watches. That's all this is. That's all it's ever going to be. So
you guys can leave and just get your haterade somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not interested in any hate around here. We're just into talking watches. So
and I wanted to thank you, James, for coming back on and sharing your family's amazing collection, or at least a small part of it, with us. We always love having you on, and we appreciate you taking the time.
It's great being here, being back on. So it's been a while. So yeah, it's good being back on.
Yeah, it's breakfast time for you guys. Just go home and have some hater nut Cheerios.
Jesus.
I like cocoa.
Hey, I want to thank you guys who set this up too. I think you did a really good job. But it's hard to coordinate it, especially with people like us. And I think you guys did a great job. And
thank you, Bill.
Even with Clyde, I thought that was wonderful.
Yeah, and there's always a big thank you to Blue Shirt Buddy for doing a great job manning the controls. He's done a great job today. He's
flying the show.
Yeah. And thank you always to the rancher. We always appreciate your participation. And your levity.
I hope everyone enjoys the football today. Hope you have a good Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah.
Yes. The game that's played without kicking the ball was our football. Anyway, thanks again, guys. I'm out of here. Clyde, you're off to the watch winding gym, and the rest of you guys have a great day. Take care.
Yeah, you
all right.
Bill. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for joining us, Bill. It's always a pleasure.
No, it's time to buy my daughter either tacos or time.
There you go.
Isn't it Taco Sunday, Clive?
What?
Isn't it always Taco Sunday?
Well, sometimes. But yeah.
And James, please give the rest of your family, your daughters and your wife, our regards, and we always enjoy their participation
all over the
as
world
well.
at the moment. So Yeah, so I will indeed pass it on. You'll probably be speaking to them before me. So
All right. Well, continued good health, James, and thank you again for joining us. We really
no problems at
appreciate it.
all. Thanks, guys. Good talking to you.
All right,
Yeah,
and everybody in the
okay.
chat, thank you. Enjoy your the rest of your Super Bowl Sunday. Thank you, Thomas, the Iron Man Burnett.
Okay, all right. We might have to throw somebody off. Someone's finally crossing off. Yeah. Let's toss this low-life bozo off. What do you say?
Yeah, we'll give
We'll
him
just wrap it up.
something to think about. And we will end it there. And we will see you all next week for another edition of Watch Talk with the Punters. Thank you
Yeah.
all.
Take care, everyone. Stay safe.